G'day everybody, it's Joe here again, and we're now nearly at the end of our series of tutorials on making symbols for your old school Dungeons & Dragons maps. Now in this tutorial I'm going to show you how to take the lovely symbols that we've created and actually turn them into a symbols catalogue. So let's get straight to it. First of all, we need to make sure that we have purged the symbol memory. Now when you create a symbol, or when there is a symbol on a map in Campaign Cartographer, it actually goes into memory just once, and then every time you place it on the map it's just a reference to that symbol. And the reason Campaign Cartographer does that is to save lots and lots of memory, obviously. So let's just first of all, if we click on this button right here, you'll actually see what symbols have been loaded into memory. Now I've been playing around in the past, so there are some symbols in memory. So when that is depressed, when that button is depressed, you look at the symbols in memory. When it's depressed, you'll see what symbols are loaded in the current catalogue. So what I want to do is I want to purge all of the symbols that are in memory. What purging does is it takes every symbol which is in memory but is not actually positioned on your map. So let's go purge, symbol menu, and purge symbols. Okie dokes. Now if we just refresh this by clicking the button on and off again, you'll see there's now no symbols in memory. That gives us a clean, if you will, canvas, a clean memory area to work with. So let's now actually start putting these symbols into memory, these lovely designs that we've got here. So we'll start with a staircase. What we're going to do is click on Symbols Catalogue again, and then Define Symbol. You simply draw around the symbol that you're wanting to define. It's all marked, and then you go Do It. And then what will come up is a dialog box. Now there's a couple of really important things in the dialog box that we want to deal with. The first one is obviously the name. So I'm going to call this Stairs, Spiral, Square, helps if I spell it right, 10 foot, and also the origin. Now the origin is in relation to where on your cursor that symbol is going to get oriented from. So if you imagine I had the staircase selected, the very middle of the staircase, in other words right on that dot right there, would be at the tip of my cursor when I put it down on the map. So that's perfect for what we've got here. And then you click on OK. That's one down, 3 to go. Let's now do the little false door. So we're going to mark it. Oh, incidentally, the reason why I didn't need to go to the symbol catalogue and then go define symbol again is because Campaign Cartographer remembers the last action that you've done, and if you just click the mouse button again, click the left mouse button again, it will reinstigate that command. So I'm going to go Do It. Now we'll give it a new name. So this is our false door, door, false, and 5 foot. Now notice how I'm naming these symbols. I'm starting off with a generic, it's a staircase, and then I'm giving it a bit more detail, spiral, a bit more detail, 10 foot, and then finally the size. In this case it's door, false, 5 foot. The reason I do that is so that when these are sorted into a catalogue, when I'm reading them alphabetically, they're all clustered together neatly. There are other ways of clustering your catalogues together. I'm not going to go into that level of detail in this tutorial. Now, we've got the name set, but I don't want this cursor to be positioned in the middle of the door when I place it. I actually want it to be placed on that lower edge. So I'm just going to move the orientation to there. Let's now do the door, double door, select them all, do it, door, double, 10 foot. There we go. And I do want that one to be oriented right in the middle of the door, because when I put that mouse down over the wall, I want it to snap into that middle spot there. And finally the key, we'll just mark the key off, do it, and we'll have that one oriented to the bottom as well. So we'll have this called locked door. Okay. Terrific. Now, what you've probably noticed is that as we've been defining these as symbols, they've been disappearing, and you're probably going, oh my god, he's deleted them. No, I haven't. If we go back and refresh the view of the memory, you'll now see that our symbols are in memory, and in fact you can now see the Varicolor working. So let's change this to purple. Our black lines now appear as purple because they're now an active Varicolor on an active symbol. And if we change them to black, they go black. And if you change them to what I use in my mapping, which is color 66, when they go to that lovely blue colour. So we're nearly done, but not quite there yet. We've now got these symbols into memory, and in fact I'm going to save this file now. There we go. Always a good idea to save your work before you mess around with it too much. What I will do now is actually get these into a catalogue. And as I'm doing that, I'm going to set a few extra parameters on them. So we go to Symbols and Symbol Manager. Now, if you select symbols or a symbol or multiple symbols on this list, you'll see that this button, Save as Catalogue, becomes active. But before we save them off, I want to change a few of the options for the symbols, just so that they're really automated. Let's start with the spiral staircase. If I click on Options, you'll get this dialog box here, and just check that it is a Vari-Color. Now, the reason why you want to do that is it actually marks in the catalogue that little square on the corner, which says, hey, this is a Vari-Color symbol. Really useful. And the other thing which I think you should do is force the sheet. Now, the sheets are used to apply special effects, if you will, to your symbols, and it's a really good idea to have certain symbols placed on certain sheets so that the special effects can get applied automatically. Because this is the staircase, I'm going to apply it to the floors sheet. Really, there's nothing else you need to select here, so I just click on OK. Let's do the door. So this is our this is our false door. Glad I double checked that. So we want it to be Vari-Color. We want to force the sheet. Now we want the doors to go onto our walls layer. Okay, nice and easy. And let's select double door. And I'll go to Options. We'll make it Vari-Color. We'll force the sheet. We'll call this Walls. And the other thing that we're going to do is we're going to click this button here, which is that the control points will only cut on the same layer. Now remember how we said the control points were on the walls layer? This is one of those controls that will mean that this, if we put this wall up against, say, a floor shape, and we put it down, it won't cut the floor. It will only cut the wall. Really, really useful. Click on OK. And lock door marker. Again, we'll set the options here. Vari-Color, force sheet. Now I'm going to force this one to the floor as well. It doesn't cut anything, so that's all we need to do. Great, we've now got 1, 2, 3, 4 symbols in memory, and if we mark all of those, or you can mark them by just drawing down the list, save as catalogue. So we're now going to save this off as a catalogue. It gives you the opportunity to give a name. So I'm going to call this Joe's Old School Symbols for Tutorial. And you can see here that 4 symbols have now been saved in the catalogue. Fantastic. Let's just click on OK with that. We're actually done now. So, in the next tutorial, I'm actually going to show you how these actually get used. So, we're basically done. You've made your catalogue. But let's see how they actually get used in the real world in the next tutorial. See you very, very shortly. Bye.